Hi everyone, I'm Kelly Schaffner. Welcome to my channel. I am starting over. Just as the title of this video suggests, I am starting over. I have been gone for a while and I am kind of entering a new season, a new chapter of my life, but also a new chapter in my business because I have not been very active in my reselling business. I do want to say hello to all of you. I have missed my viewers so very much. I consider so many of you my friends, and I really appreciate those of you that have reached out to me. The number one question that I have received, actually I've received a few. First off, so many people want to know if I'm okay. I want to answer that. Yes, I am okay. I'm doing well. I consider myself very, very blessed. Number two is, are you still reselling? And the answer is yes, but in the past 6 months, I would say that my reselling business turned into a shipping business. I wasn't actively reselling the way I had been doing in the past by sourcing new items, listing new items, selling new items, and shipping. Last year at this time, I had about 1,350 items in my store, and my store is down to about 600 items today. I'm going to talk about that. I'm going to talk about some of the processes and strategies that I am changing moving forward. I have been back at it for about 10 days. Today is day 10 that I have been working full-time on my business, and I'm seeing some success. I'm gaining a little bit of traction. I'm feeling positive about it, and I wanted to share this with you. I used to daydream about starting over and what I would do differently. I have seen videos titled "What I Wish I Knew When I First Started Reselling," and I guess we'll talk about some of those things because I am making some big changes that I do believe will positively impact my business. So if you are interested, please stick around. Now, in the past 10 days, some of my newly listed items have sold, and I will share those sold pieces at the end of this video. If you're not interested in me and where I've been and my new strategies, you can skip ahead. I'll put the timestamp up here on the screen and you can just see what sold quickly for me. I think that is always interesting, but I do want to start off this video by letting you know where I have been, because I want to give you the short version. I know you don't need every single detail. My mother passed away in September. I had to take some time off after that. I tried to reboot my business and my YouTube channel in December. I met with a lot of success, but I couldn't sustain it because other things just took priority. My brother, my husband, and myself decided to renovate my mother's house. We decided to sell it, but we wanted to update it and renovate it, and that turned into a huge project. We redid this house from the roof to the floors. We did everything. I turned into the project manager. I didn't even know I could do that. I have zero construction background and it showed. I am proud to report that the house is done and I am still happily married because a renovation will test your marriage. My husband and I were just butting heads and as we worked so closely together. My husband is actually a tradesman. That's how he made his living. He has built a few houses from the ground up. I haven't. And so he was my boss. And sometimes that was a little tough for me. I became more of the laborer, but I did have to do hard construction work and I was tired. I just didn't have the time or energy or even the desire after working that type of work for 8, 10, 12 hours a day just to continue with the reselling. So my business became all about shipping. At the beginning of the year, I was having a lot of luck. Q1 tends to be one of my strongest quarters. The fourth quarter and the first quarter tend to be very, very good for my business. In the 5 years that I have been conducting business, these have been good time periods for me. I was so happy. I was doing minimal work and making a very good income doing minimal work, doing shipping. Occasionally, I would get something listed. I stopped thrifting and sourcing for my business all together as we were working on this project. The project ended up taking 2 months longer than I expected. The timeline I set up was solely based on the experience, the knowledge I had garnered from HGTV, which is false. They lie. They lie. Yeah, they can renovate a house in a 30-minute episode, and we were certainly not capable of that. But the house got listed. The house was listed, and the day after the house got listed, we took a break. We took some time off and traveled a bit. My husband and I went to Phoenix to visit the in-laws. We did go to the bins. The bins were fabulous in Phoenix, Arizona. I could have filmed a video right there in the bins. I was so excited. I have never ever titled a video my best bins haul ever, but I may do that for the Phoenix haul. It's so good. I am so excited to share with you what we found. I say we because my husband was a part of that. It was so good. We went back to the in-laws' house and I was just bragging on my husband, and my father-in-law said, "Hey, do you want to take me to the bins tomorrow?" So I went back to the bins the following day with my father-in-law. We didn't find any bangers on the second day, but we had a really good time. After that, I went to Albuquerque to visit family. My sister celebrated a milestone birthday, so I went to Albuquerque to celebrate with her. And then my sister and I went to Denver. We thrifted the Denver bins for 4 days, found some great things. We came home from Denver, got on a plane, and flew to St. Louis to visit a friend of mine. I took one suitcase. I left my laptop at home. I said, this vacation in St. Louis is going to be nothing but fun. But I received a donation from her mother, a very, very large donation, a big stack of clothing from my friend's mother, and I brought some of it home. As I was going through it, I told my friend, we may have to stop into a thrift store so I can purchase a suitcase to take this extra stuff home. I did end up sorting through the donation while I was there and donating everything that I wasn't going to bring home. I was able to pack it all into one suitcase. But we took that donation to a St. Vincent de Paul. We ran into St. Vincent de Paul so I could look at what they have, what their prices were like. And I'll tell you this, it looked very similar to what I see in my thrift stores. I didn't notice a big change based on the area, the region of the country. Their prices were much better than the prices here. That could have just been that particular thrift store, but I would go back. I did purchase one dress for myself, and my girlfriend found a bolo for herself. And I will share that in a future video when I share the one dress that I bought for myself, because I have listed that dress already. I did have an opportunity to wear it and then I got it listed. St. Louis was my last trip. I knew I needed to get home and get back to work, and my cup runneth over after spending so much time with friends and family, and I felt re-energized and refreshed and ready to get back to work. And I knew that getting back to work was wanting to get back to normal, but I'm not even sure what normal is. I have been running my reselling business as a part-time job because for the past 5 years, I was caring for my mother and I was doing reselling tasks at different times during the day. And reselling is so great for people that need a flexible schedule. It worked out so well for me, but I always kind of wondered what it would be like if I treated reselling like I was working for someone else. Like I had to clock in at 8 in the morning and I could clock out at 4 o'clock, how much work I could get done, because surprisingly, I am able to accomplish a lot in part-time hours, and now I am full-time. I am working full-time. I have spent more than one daydream thinking about what I would change in my business if I just had more hours in the day to accomplish these tasks, like organization, listing, not so much shipping. Most of my processes are down pretty good, but my stores were filled with junk because in the early days of my reselling, I listed every single item that I received in a mystery box. I listed every single donation that I received. I did not have the sourcing knowledge that I have today. I just listed everything, and there's a lot of junk in my stores. Occasionally some of that stuff sells. And then I think, why remove it? Why remove it, Kelly? Just leave it there. Eventually it might sell, but I don't like it and I wanted to purge it. And so I have been working on that since the beginning of the year because I wasn't actively sourcing and listing. I was working on purging. So the smaller store was achieved by both purging stale inventory and selling through items. And I was listing items. My friends and family have just continued since I started this business to be very, very generous with their donations. And I have received a lot of donations. I've kind of stuck with the sorting everything as soon as I get it and moving things out that I know I'm not going to sell. I have continued to use the buy-sell trade stores, selling my items to the buy-sell trade store for store credit. My trips to the buy-sell trade store turned into like the highlight of my month simply because I got away from the construction project. I got to go into, what felt like a thrift store, look through things, and I was picking up items along the way, was being very, very selective about the items that I picked up. I would bring them home. Sometimes I would get them listed, and sometimes I just hung them on my racks. So when I returned to work, the day after I returned from St. Louis, the first thing I did was photograph everything on those racks. There's a lot of stuff on the racks too. I am filming this 10 days in. I have been working for 10 days and I'll give you a little update, like I said, a sales update on how things are going. Also, I wanted to touch base on this. I shut down my eBay store. In February, I made a sale on eBay and I went looking for the item. I very seldom lose items. I have a pretty good inventory system and I couldn't find the dress. So I decided to check Poshmark, and sure enough, I had sold the dress on Poshmark about a month prior and completely forgot about it. I didn't delist it from eBay, and I went into a panic mode because I just wasn't focusing on reselling. My eBay account has never been put into jeopardy, but I was so concerned about the eBay sale, and I haven't been very good about cross-listing my items from Poshmark to eBay. So I just turned off my eBay store in March. And when I came back, I said, turning it back on. And I've kind of altered the way that I am listing. So I have been, listing like a power horse. Is that a word? Power horse? But I've been listing, but I've changed my listing process in, let's just say I build 20 listings in a day. I'm only allowing myself to push 10 of those listings out live, and I am building a draft bank because I feel like I need that security because I know that consistency will bring sales. So it's better to list a little bit every single day, in my opinion, than list 20 items in one day and then get back to it the next time that I can. I have been a very consistent lister since I started reselling, except when I took this break to do that construction project. And I just want to have a security fund. I also am not pushing out new listings until every single listing gets cross-posted to eBay. And it has paid off almost immediately. In only 10 days of actively listing on eBay and cross-posting items from my current Poshmark store to eBay, it's like new life is in my eBay store. And that has given me the motivation just to continue. I am not pushing out any new listings until everything is listed on both platforms. These are the only two platforms that I am focused on right now. I have tried some other platforms. Monetarily, they never made sense. I gave them, maybe not a good old college try, but I have tried them. And the only two that make sense for me right now are Poshmark and eBay. I actually feel like I'm truly starting over, although I did not ever shut down my Poshmark closet. I'm starting over with some advantages. So I have some experience now. I have a little bit of know-how on how to run this business. I'm setting new financial goals or new goals for my business, and I'll tell you what they are. I remember the first month that I sold on Poshmark, I made $333, and I was absolutely thrilled with that number. And I want to keep that in mind, that because I made more than that this past week selling on Poshmark and eBay, and I still was kind of hard on myself, like you should be doing better. I want to try to remember how good it felt in the beginning just to feel some success and some momentum starting to happen, and be proud of where I am today, because I am making daily sales. That happened within 4 or 5 days of consistently listing. I've been really lucky to have daily sales. About a year into reselling, I was taking some classes at a local nonprofit for women entrepreneurs, women in business. I was learning about business because I have no background or schooling in business. And we had to set financial goals, and I wanted to be realistic about it. I have shared this before on my channel. I wanted to just be self-supporting through my own contributions. I am very blessed. I'm very lucky to have a husband that is able to support us completely. He is retired and draws a retirement, but he's double dipping, and he has a full-time job with benefits and retirement and all of that. So I am very, very lucky. But in my second year of reselling, I knew I had to set a goal and then come up with an action plan, how to achieve those goals. And my goal became, I wanted to make enough money to support my family in the event that my husband wasn't able to, that my husband was disabled or something like that, God forbid. But I think that's a really good security plan. I'm old, but I'm not old enough to retirement and draw my retirement yet. So I am still working, and I had to make a decision. Do I want to go back out into the workplace, or do I want to really make a go at this business? And my financial goal has not changed. I am not there right now, but I was able to achieve that goal, and I'd like to get back to it. So some of the things I'm working on. By year's end, I would like to have 1,000 active listings. That is a big feat if you are selling through the items that you are currently listing. It can be very hard to get there. And I also don't want to add junk. I do not want to put listings up simply to feed the beast. And I have done that before. And I just don't want to do that again, because I am never happy with the end result. I want to add items that will make me a $25 profit. So to do that, I normally have to list an item at about $40 and $42. I used to make regular what sold videos, and my average sale price was $40 to $42. And I just want to get back to that. That requires very careful sourcing. So I need to continue with that. I will probably always list items that don't have an average sale price of $40, but I am being far more particular about that and using the buy, sell, trade store to unload items that aren't going to net me that profit. Because with that $40 price point, I am able to profit $25. If it's a free item that was donated to me, I might be able to list it for less and still make around that $25, because I am aiming for a 1% daily sell-through rate. So that means right now with 600 items, I am striving to sell 6 items a day. And by the year's end, I would like to have 1,000 active listings and sell about 10 items a day. That would make me about $250 in profit, which is exactly where I would like to be. I'm going to give it my best shot. I'm going to try to get 1,000 quality listings with an average sale price close to that $40 mark or over, aiming at that $25 profit, net profit after fees and cost of goods. with 10 sales a day. I'm going to sneeze. Working towards that goal, I have no doubt that I will achieve my financial goals and we can just breathe a little bit easier and I won't have to go work for anyone else. This video is getting long. I want to talk about the last thing that I'm doing. I'm going to only sell the items that I love, the categories that I really love. I am easily influenced and I have some friends that really do a great job selling in different categories than I do. And often they have inspired me to try my hand at a different category. And moving forward, I'm going to do what I love. I think that is so important. Life is just too short, guys. I've tried reselling in categories that I don't enjoy. I've tried selling men's clothes. I've tried selling children's clothes. I've tried selling some hard goods. And sometimes I enjoy that, but I've tried maternity, I've tried activewear, tried some hats. I've dipped my toes into several different categories. I'll tell you what, one of my friends, Keegan, the teen reseller here on YouTube, he does a bang up job selling activewear. And I see how much success he has. And I think I want to replicate that success, but I get the activewear and I don't enjoy listing it. I just don't enjoy selling it. And I decided to stop, just stop and do what I really like, because I think that passion spills over into your business. And yeah, I'm just going to stick with what I like, what I enjoy, and what I am passionate about, especially as I am rebooting and restarting my business. I think I will meet with the most success with that. I want to tell you a story about a mall and just any mall in America. There's all these different shops in that mall, right? Like there's the pretzel shop, and then there's the candle shop, and there's the Forever 21 type shop where all the teens shop. And then there's the big department store that caters to men, women, young, old, luggage, home goods, everything you can imagine is at that department store. And as the pretzel shop, I'm looking at the department store and saying, boy, they get a lot more traffic. And maybe if I just added some waffle makers to my pretzel shop, I would do a better business. But I don't really like waffle makers. My specialty is pretzels. The moral of that story is I've learned it's okay just to have my pretzel shop and be really happy for the department store owner and the candle store owner. They're all okay, and every single store has a place in the mall, and every single one of us unique online sellers has a place on the internet, and someone that will be looking at our niche. If we love it, there's somebody else that loves it, and I'm going to continue doing what has brought me success and what brings me joy in my work. I'm my own boss and I get to decide how this business is run. I am the one that takes all the hits and all of the responsibility when my choices are bad ones. And today I'm choosing to focus on what works for me, what I enjoy, which will be more shoes, more dresses, more denim, and outerwear, that type stuff. You will see some items in my upcoming hauls, guys, that I won't be able to list for $40, but I am going to get it listed. You'll see some items that are maybe out of my wheelhouse because I'll probably throw those in, but I am not going to focus on learning new categories or trying a new category until maybe next year. I think that is going to be very helpful in me just getting back up and running, back on my feet. Okay, the final thing I want to talk about today is YouTube. And by the way, thank you so much for being here. Otherwise, I'd be talking to myself. And I've been doing a lot of talking to myself these past 5 years, so it's always a pleasure to get to visit with you. I'm going to give it a try, guys. We're going to try to resurrect this channel as well. I will be posting regular videos. We'll see what that schedule looks like. I am pre-recording because, again, I need to have that security bank, that draft bank. So you're seeing this a little bit after it was filmed. We'll reevaluate YouTube and see if it makes sense in January. In the meantime, I'm so grateful that you are here today. Do you guys want to see what has sold that has been listed in the last 10 days? I'm going to quickly run through. Let me scooch here so we'll have a little place and I can put some pictures there. I'll quickly go over these pieces that sold quickly. All of these have sold within 10 days of being listed. So this is on Poshmark. We'll start with Poshmark. First up was a pair of native Jefferson pink tie-dye slip-on casual water play shoes. These were a girl size 12, toddler girl size 12. They sold for $19. That was an offer that I accepted. I picked those up at the bins, and I love to sell that brand of shoes. They're so easy to clean up, and they've always been a pretty quick sale for me. I picked up 2 pairs, and I've only sold 1. Both pairs got listed. The girls were cooler than the boys. Next up was a pair of Born red leather woven slip-on comfort sandals. Red leather. You guys know I got these for me. They were a size 9. They look like they had never been worn, but they're size 9. I'm not a size 9. I am a size 8, 8.5. I thought that they might work for me because they looked like my size, but they were too big. I sold those. I took an offer for $30 on those. Next up is a pair of flip-flops that I found at the Denver bins. They're a pair by the brand Reef. They were new with tags. They had a tag attached to them. They were the cushion butter brown wedge flip-flops. I had never paid attention to this brand before. I told you I went to celebrate my sister's birthday, and it was a big birthday, lots of gifts. My sister spends a lot of time at the lake, and she got probably half a dozen pairs of flip-flops for her birthday. People gifted her with flip-flops. But when she opened up a pair of Reef flip-flops, all her girlfriends were oohing and aahing about her Reef flip-flops, which, I mean, I wasn't terribly impressed. But when I found this pair of flip-flops in the bins, I thought, you know what, let me run comps on these. And the comps are pretty good. If you can get them at a good cost of goods, I would say go for it. I sold those for $33. Next up was I said I wasn't going to sell activewear, and here we go. I listed a pair of Lululemon Hottie Hot low-rise lined shorts with a 2.5-inch inseam. They were in the color True Navy. They were a size 6. They were itty bitty. They were so small. I take most of the Lululemon that I receive in donations or I find at the bins. I take it to the buy-sell trade store. They love it. They always buy it from me. But I decided to try these myself. I am so glad that I did. They sold for $35 within 24 hours, and I got a really nice review on them. So I will probably continue to sell Lululemon shorts that are in good condition because those sold so fast. Next up was a dress by Free People. Free People is another brand that I take to the buy-sell trade store. They love it. They will buy almost any piece in good condition from me, and it is a brand that is really oversaturated on the resale market. But I do like to sell pieces that are a little bit more substantial or unusual, and I have a few of those in my sales. They tend to do very well. This dress was the Free People Be My Baby strappy smocked bohemian midi dress. It was in a size large too. I find so much Free People in larger sizes at the bins. I never used to run into it at the thrift store. I had this dress listed for $50 and it sold for $40. That was an offer. It sold pretty quickly too. Next up was a dress by Farm Rio. This dress came from the Phoenix bins. My husband found this dress. He also is responsible for another Farm Rio piece that I'll share in a little bit. This one was called the Forest Tapestry long sleeve beaded tassel. It was a darker Farm Rio print. but it received so much attention. It sold within a day for $104. That was an offer that I accepted, and I also received a really nice review on that. Next up was a dress by Vineyard Vines. This is a brand I don't have a lot of luck with, but I really like the dress, and I thought I was going to wear the dress on vacation. I didn't. I left it at home. This was the La Balmeria cotton tiered dress. It was very colorful. It was kind of an oversized, just comfortable dress. I thought it would make a really nice cover up. I was scheduled to go to a pool party, and that party was canceled, so I didn't take the dress with me on vacation. I got it listed, and it sold for $30. I personally really liked the dress. I'm glad to see it moving on to someone that is going to use it, because it was a shorter length, and I just don't wear those shorter length dresses unless it was to a pool party or something like that. Next up was a Bowden dress. This was the Bowden Margot blue scoop neck polka dot jersey knit dress. It was in a size 10. It sold for $24. I had that one listed for $30, and I sent an offer and it was accepted. Here's another pair of shoes that I was going to keep for myself. These were in fact my size. They were a size 8. Had they been a size 8.5, I think they would have been perfect for me. These were Naturalizer. This is a brand I don't normally pick up. Red leather slip-on comfort mule clog type shoe. It was red leather, and I never met a pair of red shoes that I didn't fall hopelessly in love with. The problem with these shoes is on the back of that clog mule, there was kind of a little lip, and had they been an 8.5, they probably would have been fine, but I don't like that lip, because sometimes when you're walking, your heel steps down on that lip. So I wore them once and said, nope, I'm going to sell these, and they sold for $25. I got those at the bins in Colorado. Another Denver pickup was Driftwood. These were Driftwood olive green, high-rise embroidered casual denim shorts. They were not heavily embroidered. They had a ribbon of embroidery on the cuffed hem, but they were a really good size. They were a size 33, and I believe they were new with tags. I got 2 pair of Driftwood shorts, one being new with tags, but I can't tell from just looking at my phone here. I sold those for $33. I was thrilled with that sale. I am trying to get rid of all of the shorts that I have right now. Next up, this is a find that my husband found in Phoenix at the bins. This was a Farm Rio collaboration with Anthropology, striped wide leg linen blend, paper bag waist pants. He brought them to me and said, do you like these? I know you like colorful. And I looked at the tag. I was so happy. They were a size small, but they still sold in just a few days for $52. I'll talk about this one. This was a sale for $10. It was the Patagonia black cutout back athletic workout sports bra, size large. I picked this up thinking it might work for me. I'm going to some Pilates and yoga classes, and just trying to get out and keep myself in better shape, get myself into better shape. Let's be real. So I picked up a couple bras, this Patagonia bra and also a Champion bra. Neither of them worked for me. I didn't like the fit on them. I took both of them to the buy-sell trade, and they didn't want them. So I decided to list them instead of donating them. And I received an offer for $10 on the Patagonia one, and I sent it out the door. I don't do well with Patagonia items other than their outerwear. So I was happy to see that move on to someone that can use it. Next up was a Tory Burch Jeanette circle clip dot silk blend cocktail dress. It was in kind of a rusty orange color. It was beautiful. I meant to take that dress to my sister's birthday party, and I forgot about it. I accepted an offer for $35 on this dress. I may have been able to make more money on this dress, but guys, I am accepting reasonable offers. That dress came from a donation, so I felt like $35 was a reasonable offer. I have found that accepting offers usually leads to more sales, and we're starting over, so I need those sales to come in. And then we have an Eileen Fisher hemp blend striped A-line or shift style dress. I think it had pockets. That one sold for $55. It was like new. It was also a size large. That was a donation. And finally, the last piece that was just recently listed was Johnny Was. Guys, when I went to Denver, I was a magnet for Johnny Was. I found so much Johnny Was on every single thrift session, so to speak. I found a Johnny Was piece. This was the most insignificant Johnny Was piece, but at least I was able to keep that streak going when I found this Johnny Was printed nylon packable reusable shopping bag. I picked it up. It weighed nothing. It was just pennies for me to purchase that. And I thought, maybe I'll use this as a free gift with one of my Johnny Was purchases, but I did end up running comps on it, and they sell anywhere from $15 to almost $30. So I listed mine for $25, and I accepted an offer for $20 on Poshmark. So those are the items that sold quickly on Poshmark, listed and sold in the last 10 days. Let's move to eBay. Oh, so I shut down my store, and many years ago, I don't know if I talked about it on my channel, my father-in-law gave me a bunch of collectibles, and I listed them all on eBay. I got them listed again on eBay, and I sold this book. It was called Cover Story: The Art of the American Magazine Art. It was a pretty interesting book. I had had it listed for several years on eBay for $20. As soon as I opened my eBay store and got those items listed again, I received an offer for $9, and I said, yes, you can have it. It went international, and yeah, that was $9 plus the buyer paid shipping on that. Next up is a dress that my sister found. It was her size too. It must have been a size medium. It was the Hill House Home Ellie Knapp dress. It was white with a light blue polka dot or Swiss dot on it. It was such a precious little dress. My sister did not want the dress, and I listed it for $100. This has been a very popular style, so I was happy I got to try it out. I listed it for $100, and I accepted a $70 offer. Next up is a Free People dress. This was a substantial dress by Free People Beach. It was Moonlight Cotton Heritage, maybe. This one sold for $30. I also think this one was a size large or maybe a medium. It was oversized, big boho beach dress. That one sold on an offer for $30. Next up, guys, was a linen piece by Bryn Walker. It was a linen yellow asymmetrical tunic type top. It was really a funky cut. It was a wrap top that tied on the interior and tied on the exterior and had asymmetrical hemlines, and it was a size extra large. It looked horrible hanging on a hanger, so I decided to model it. I got my husband to take some pictures of it, cut my head off, and you guys are looking at it now. And I was so disappointed in the pictures. Oh, guys, I had surgery. I had a melanoma and a removal earlier this year, and so I don't see it. It's on the back of my arm, but in those modeled pictures, I could really see it. So I was thrilled. I was so happy when this top sold. I had a lot of watchers and likers on this top, and it sold for $48.89. I think I had it listed for $60. Yeah, it sold in less than a day, and I didn't think it was going to sell at all because my arms really detracted from it, in my opinion, but I was happy to sell that. I also listed another Bryn Walker piece. That one was a size small, but the same thing. It's oversized, lag and look style, and I modeled it as well because it didn't look good on a hanger. This isn't my last piece, but boy, was it my favorite sale. I sold an Emilio Pucci 100% silk crystal embellished caftan dress. It was absolutely stunning. I should have modeled this one because I really wanted to put it on and try it out. It took me a little while to get this one listed. This was on my rack of things to get listed, and I just kept putting it off because there were so many crystals on this dress. I wanted to make sure that they were all there and there wasn't any flaws. I got this Emilio Pucci piece at the Buy Sell Trade store. One day when I took my donations in, I stay in store and peruse their racks, and I found this Emilio Pucci cover-up type dress. I paid $49 in store credit for this dress, and I honestly enjoyed having the piece in my office to look at. It's Emilio Pucci pieces are just a piece of art. They're so beautiful. I sold this one for $250, and the buyer paid shipping, which was just a minimal fee because it was 100% silk. There was a lot of attention very quickly on this piece. I sent out offers, and then I had a notification that it sold, and I noticed that it sold for my full asking price of $250. So that's even better when something sells full price. I always find fry boots at the Denver bins. They just seem to be plentiful there. I brought home these baby fry boots because I thought they were adorable. These were the Fry Youth Melissa camel colored leather boots. They weren't in perfect condition, but I like them in a worn in condition. The laces on these were kind of shot, but I brought them home, I cleaned them up, I gave them a conditioning with some leather conditioner. I listed them for $25. They sold on an offer for $20. Oh, did they? I think somebody offered me $20 plus shipping, and I sold those. And that was a fun sale. I enjoyed that. Next up is a sale of a donation. This came from my friend Jennifer. This was an Eileen Fisher black silk scoop neck midi dress in a size large, I'm guessing. I don't have the size here, but because my friend is a tall and size large. This dress was in perfect condition, like maybe she never wore it, and it sold for $60. That was an offer that I accepted. Next up was another Free People piece that I picked up at the Buy Sell Trade store with some of my trade-in credit. It was the Free People New Romantics. The flower, I should check on that. What was it called? The flower crown embroidered v-neck dress. It was really an unusual dress, and I was drawn to this dress because of the color. It was a very optic white with red and green embroidery on it. It almost looked like an ethnic dress. It was such a cool dress. I possibly would have worn it myself, but I don't know where I would have worn that. So I got that one listed, and it sold for $65. Is that the last one? I feel like, no, this is the last one. The last item that sold on eBay that was both listed and sold on eBay in the last 10 days was a roller rabbit dress. It was called the Woe Rhodey Janny Floral Printed dress. It had some tassel tie details. This was a shorter dress in the color. It was reds and pinks. It was a beautiful dress. I accepted an offer of $40, and the buyer paid shipping on that dress, and all of those were quick sales. There were a few other sales on Poshmark, some items that had been listed much longer that I was happy to see go, but that's what's happened in the last 10 days. And I want to be just as proud of these sales as I was my first month selling when I made that $333, because you have to start somewhere, and we don't get to start at the top. We have to work our way there. So that's what I'm working on. Thank you so much for joining me today. If you haven't subscribed yet, please subscribe. If you are starting over or revamping your business, please do this with me. I could sure use your company and your encouragement and support, and I am right here to give you the same. I will support your journey because starting over is hard, and we're better together. Thank you so much for watching. I will see you very soon with the next video. Blessings to all of you.